Nightcap recap. What up, players?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is the Nightcap recap. It's been a busy couple of weeks for us here. We had the NFL Draft. We got Stanley Cup Playoffs rolling in. Biringer, Teddy Repantis. We're back. We got 2-for-1 special this week for you guys. So good to be back. Lefty, my man, what is up?
Did you miss us? Did everybody miss us? I know it's been about 2 weeks, but the Nightcap recap is international, worldwide. I'm in Pittsburgh, boots on the ground for the NFL Draft. Jimmy B's doing his thing in Montreal, covering the NHL playoffs. I know people have missed seeing our faces here on the Instagram, on the YouTube, on the Spotify. We appreciate all the support. So it is great to be alive on a Tuesday night, recording the Nightcap recap. And this is Wednesday, May 5th. 2026. Yesterday was somebody's birthday, 40th birthday, the chairman of the board, the man who makes everything run here on the Nightcap recap. You see the little clips. You see the guy who puts in all the work on the page, plus the other work he does. Jimmy B, of course, I'm talking about you, man. Happy 40th birthday yesterday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you, and may 40 years old, God bless. Wanted to shout you out, and all my friends, everybody, give you a big birthday shout out from yesterday.
I appreciate everybody for giving me the birthday love on May 4th. Still getting the birthday love today. I really appreciate it to everybody. Makes me feel special. Know that I got a lot of good people out in my corner. And everybody likes to see us succeed. So, we gave you a birthday shout out. Give me a birthday shout out. I don't feel 40. Feel like I can still keep going. Rocking and rolling. We're just getting started, baby. We're just getting started. It's only just begun, as Chubb said, baby, and Happy Gilmore. That's it. We are rocking and rolling, and I appreciate you, Lefty, for the birthday shout-out. Everybody posting stuff on the pages and all the clips and everything. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a good day. Had some cake. Ice cream cake's the way to go. That's the straight-up Carvel ice cream cake like that.
The chocolate crunchies, always.
That's it. That's the way to go. But we got a lot to talk about. Like I said, it's 2-for-1 special. We got to start off here, though, because I posted up on an Instagram page. Toronto Maple Leafs have won the draft lottery in the NHL. That means they get to select first overall. There's been a lot of topic about Austin Matthews potentially leaving. He maybe he's uncertain. There's a lot of question marks around the team with the new GM and everything, direction. But here's the thing. They got the first overall pick. Who do they select? But you're going to see the conspiracy theories out there. Oh, it's rigged. It's not. Is it rigged? We all watched it live. It's typical. Leafs. The NHL wants them to have the first overall pick. Well, it came to mind, since we like to talk a lot of NFL on this page, we can talk about other sports, but, in common, in the NBA, they really don't have that problem because, not a lot of, unless it was the Knicks or Celtics, whatever. Or Lakers, those would be the teams that you would be really saying rigged. But in the NFL, what would be a team that fans would get upset saying, if there was a draft lottery, who would get the first overall pick?
I mean, we were talking about this pre-show, Jimmy. I mean, Kansas City Chiefs, probably the most hated team currently. We all talk about how New England had that dynastic run and they were the most hated team for about 2 decades. It is now the Kansas City Chiefs. And if you're telling me we're getting a draft lottery in the NFL and somehow a team that won 3 out of the last 5 Super Bowls ends up with the number 1 pick, I mean, the conspiracy theories on X and Twitter would be running rampant. You wouldn't hear the end of it. So that's the team I got to compare. That if you're telling me the Leafs here, the NHL wants to see them do well or succeed, the Chiefs would be a comparable team, I feel like, that everybody would be like, well, what's going on here? Or even the Philadelphia Eagles. That's another team that seems to always nail it on the head with the draft. You give them the number 1 pick, Howie Roseman's going to do damage. So the Chiefs or the Eagles, I feel like, would be that perfect comparison.
Yeah, I think so, too. I was thinking Chiefs just because it's just, no one likes them anymore. I'm trying to think of other teams. Like the Giants, no one would hate on it because it's like the Giants because they haven't done anything, and everybody would be like, well, they need one. Like that's
the Jets. The Jets need it.
Yeah, those teams need it. But like Philadelphia or Kansas City, Dallas would be another team. Dallas, big time. They were like, we need to get Dallas back in the fold. We got to get them a pick. Like,
I mean, the biggest draw in the NFL, not ratings-wise, usually they're always involved on the other end of the biggest, most watched game. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so just want to have a little fun off the top before we get back to talking the Stanley Cup playoffs and my time in Montreal and everything. But we got to go into the NFL draft because, Teddy, you were there, boots on the ground, nightcap, recap. We posted a lot of stuff. Thank you for sending me the videos and getting things up. What was the experience like there in Pittsburgh, man? Looked like it was a great time.
Yeah, I'll just say this off the top. Pittsburgh is an underrated city in the United States of America. I feel like it doesn't get the love that you get from the other major market cities like a New York, a Chicago, and LA. That city is beautiful. It's right on the water, right there in the Allegheny. You have the three bridges, the Roberto Clemente. For that weekend, became a pedestrian bridge. They shut it down to traffic so you could get to and from downtown very easily, accessible. You get right to PNC Park, which is right next to, I'm going to call it Heinz Field. I know it's Acrisure. I'm always going to call it the ketchup bottle.
Field, it's Heinz Field.
The big ketchup bottle's right there when you walk in. So to me, it's Heinz Field. But they're right next to each other. All of downtown was fully prepared for this. All the bars, all the restaurants open. You can walk in. You can walk into the baseball stadium and just walk around. Eat free entry into this thing. All you have to do is download the QR code from NFL.com, and you had free entry into this. And it was awesome. The experience itself was amazing. Everybody's very friendly. The city of Pittsburgh is great. This was another cool thing that I thought. Look, you saw fans of teams of all 32 NFL teams. Normally, when you're watching highlights of games and you see fans in the stands fighting each other, this was the complete opposite. Everybody was happy to be there. Everybody was excited. And it was a friendly trash talk. Like me wearing all my Niners gear, every Rams or Seahawks or Cardinals fan that I saw, we were playfully trash talking each other, giving each other the finger. You saw Steelers fans booing every Raven fan that they saw. Nothing malicious about it. Just good old-fashioned trash talk and ribbing each other. That's what I love. Everybody was just pumped to be there. They had a combine kind of set up there where you could do the vertical jump, which I did. I posted that video. I thought I was jumping really high. These 40-year-old knees cannot jump that high anymore. I did do pretty well on it, but I did not. In the video, it doesn't look like I jumped that high, and that's what I thought I did. You had the football toss into the net. You could get on the field and kick a field goal. Now, Pat McAfee was hosting this thing. Unfortunately, the line was way too long, and I couldn't find my way there. But it would have been a bucket list thing to kick a field goal on an NFL field. That would have been awesome. Topps had a trading card section set up. There was obviously the pro shop, the merchandise. They had the helmets of all 32 NFL teams. You could go and take photos. Kudos to the city of Pittsburgh for being prepared and just making their entire city kind of a little NFL village. Every time an NFL pick was selected, the bridge would turn into the lights of that team, which was a very cool touch. And I didn't get to see the videos or the photos until afterwards, the above angle shots. 350,000 people there for night one, a record. Overall, the entire weekend, they broke a 3-day record, 850,000 people, I think. Being actually in there was crazy. We had our own VIP section. Shout out to Anthony Abato, Steelers fan that I was there with. He got it hooked up. Being in the sea of people was great. Like the electricity, the feeling for just watching college players being picked. It was like a party-like atmosphere. They had a live band in between picks. Brett Michaels was there on day 2. Wiz Khalifa. They had ways to keep the crowd entertained, and it was beautiful days. 2 80-degree days. The backdrop was that water and that city. Walking on the Clemente at nighttime was amazing. Like that was a cool experience. And look, the food was great everywhere we were. And then once the Steelers picked on night one, I told you this, a lot of Steelers fans pretty much just left the premises, and I was able to get a little closer to try to witness the Niners pick, who unfortunately they traded back and did not pick on night one. I drove all the way.
What a shocker.
Yeah.
Link above. Shocker, link above.
Link above. Yeah, like I was going to say to you, like I drove all the way there to see the Niners make a pick on night one. I had to wait till day 2, which I did. I was there to make sure I saw the day 2 pick. But overall, as an experience, if you're an NFL fan, if you're a football fan, this is a bucket list thing. Pittsburgh is the perfect city to have something like this. I don't know if you could do it by us here in New York unless you did it in New York City. You couldn't do it at MetLife.
Look, I'll say this. I always loved when the NFL draft was at Radio City. I always thought it was fun. Like, it's just old school. Like, Radio City was the place to do it. Like, now they just want everybody there. I think MetLife would make sense because of the parking lots and everything. That, like, it would make the most sense. But you don't have the walking facility like you do in Pittsburgh, like we've seen in Tennessee or Green Bay. Like, it's so hard in our area to do that. Like, Radio City is the perfect place to do it. But
Yeah.
I don't think they're ever going back there ever again. Like, I think the next closest thing maybe when Buffalo has their new stadium, like, officially open, they'll probably get a draft up there. Like, I would be shocked if they didn't. But it would be hard to pull off if the Sabres keep making the playoffs. But, like, I just think that, or you do it, like, yeah, I mean, it's just so hard to do it anywhere in this area except for Radio City. But it looked like it was an awesome time. Giants made some noise. Jets made some noise. There were some crazy picks in the first round, like kind of off the board picks, like not right away, but like
Tennessee made a surprising. Yeah, Tennessee made a surprising pick, right?
Yeah, that was.
We thought Jeremiah Love was going to go there, but obviously Arizona took him right there at number 3.
And then the Giants, it falls to Arvel Reese. Like, that's a great pick for the Giants. Like, I was on our board with Jeremy. We were talking that night when I was in Montreal, the first night for the draft, right before Game 3. And I said, if Arvel Reese is there, you run to the table. You run to the table. And I know, look, I'm going to say this. This may not be, good for Giants fans. They want to hear this. And I know it's a new day and age in media. And I'm old school when it comes to this. Malik Neighbors needs to know better. The New York Giants need to know better. Yeah. Like, the night of the draft, you're not having your first overall selection from a couple of years ago go on somebody's podcast and criticize not only the general manager and the head coach for the pick. At that point, the Giants PR needs to shut down any requests and be like, he's talking after the draft. Like, you want him on your podcast, you want him to do stuff, he'll do it after the draft, during OTAs and stuff like that. It was just a bad look for Neighbors and the Giants because he just looked like a guy that just didn't want to be there anymore. It's like, dude.
Or didn't understand what the team was doing.
It's like, well, we needed Caleb Downs. Yeah, I get everybody wanted Caleb Downs. But the Giants went with the safe pick because of the injury history with Caleb Downs. That's why. Like, PR 101 says you don't do that stuff. Like, it's the New York Giants. They need to know better. Again, it's a new day and age. Everybody's on these podcasts. I get it. But when you do this, you open yourself up to scrutiny. And if I was covering the Giants, my first question to Malik Neighbors would have been, hey, why did you say what you said on the podcast did you know the vision? Were you you don't say that stuff because you open yourself up to scrutiny.
Jimmy, we'll touch on it later if we touch briefly on the NBA, but when you said guys go on these podcasts, Jaylen Brown, case in point, gets eliminated, Boston Celtics, and comes on a podcast the next day just talking about guys flopping and trashing. You look like a sore loser. It's unfortunately today's athlete and today's sports culture that everybody's on a stream or a podcast just giving their opinion about what they think, and it's a bad look for the team, and you just laid it out perfectly. I mean, Jackson Dart also is a quarterback that they want to protect and make sure he doesn't get any more concussions. So you take the best lineman available, and that's a guy who clearly, when you saw him, this guy looks like he's a part of the Samoan bloodline. Like,
I know.
This guy's massive. So great protection. So if you're Malik Neighbors, you want the playmaker and down, sure. You hate to see Dallas be the team to get him, of course.
Yeah, because he's the corner that you have to go after every game.
You don't trash your own team's philosophy of the draft. And like you said, Arvel Reese fell in their lap. I was there live, sitting in that VIP lounge, some Giants fans around me. They couldn't believe that the Jets passed up on Reese. And you talked about this with Russ Cohen, right?
Yeah.
And Russ said what? That he would have preferred Reese, I think?
Yeah, over Bailey, yeah. But he knew the Jets was going to do Bailey. He knew the Jets, he knew it. He said this. He's like, they didn't interview him, but it'd be a typical Jets pick to just take him without talking to him. He wanted Arvel Reese because it was what they needed because they don't have somebody that can get the ball.
Exactly. So the Giants, I think, lucked out right there. I mean, look, you might have your plans for how you think the draft's going to go, but then something falls in your lap and it's for the better. So Giants sitting there with 2 top 10 picks again. I don't think they could have gone wrong
I
with
mean,
whatever
the
talent they ended up
the
there.
Monongai pick at 10 was great. I watched the kid, Francis Monongai, all year at Miami. He was unbelievable. Yeah. Like, he could protect Carson Beck.
I'll never argue against building the trenches inside and out, right? From D-line and O-line, I'll never argue against that. So I understand what the Giants were doing, what the big picture is.
And I like the
they nailed the rest of their draft too, I feel like.
And I love the addition of Malachi Fields, wide receiver out of Notre Dame. I love that pick. It's another weapon that you add to your team. Now you have multiple weapons. Maybe you move off of Jalen Hyatt and Malachi Fields with Malik Neighbors. Like, you're building something now. And by the way, what the Giants did, this is straight up out of Harbaugh's playbook. This is what they do.
And they added veteran D tackle today, officially, Reader, coming from, I believe he's been with Denver and Cleveland. Just a big look. You lost Dexter Lawrence, so you need a veteran.
And that was a big trade for them because, like, I mean, Cleveland gives them the 10th overall pick for that. Like, all right, fine.
Yeah. I know you're going to take it. You know, Cincinnati did, but you're going to take it.
Cincinnati did.
You're going to take it. I mean, look, they put themselves in the best position they could, and we can't trash talk what the Giants did here in this draft. I thought it was great. Typical Harbaugh draft. So things are looking up for them.
And now the question is the GM going to stay? There's still questions surrounding the general manager. What he's doing, like, is it Harbaugh's team? Is it Harbaugh's say? Is it, Joe
It's clear
Shane?
that I think Joe Shane at this point is like a figurehead. Like, not a puppet, but I feel like they just have him out there like he's just got to answer the questions, and he's not really making any of the decisions.
No, I don't think so either. But
so
I liked what the Giants did. I liked some of their free agency moves. I liked their trades. I think they did what they needed to do. It's going to take a little bit. I think they can contend, like we've said, with Harbaugh. I think they can contend for maybe the final wild card spot this year in the NFC. But I don't expect this team to be a true contender maybe for another year or year after. Because it's going to take time.
It's going to take time. Look, they'll surprise this year, but it's going to take time to be a true contender for real. But the Giants had a pretty good presence at this draft. I feel like
Giants fans always travel.
Yeah. The big name franchises had a good presence. I mean,
I will say this.
Eagles, Dallas.
I will say this. I was watching the NFL draft. I shout out Penguins fans. Shout out City of Pittsburgh too. This was during the Stanley Cup Playoffs, first round, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Yeah. There was some cursing that made it through the TV where the fans yelled F the Flyers, and you could hear it loud. That was great.
Well, just being there for those couple days and walking around amongst everybody, I overheard a lot of Steelers fans just talking about, like, hey, do we have a chance in this series? Are we going to come back? Like, the goalie's out for Philly or something in one of those games. I forgot what it was. But Pittsburgh sports fans, we can't talk about how dedicated and loyal they are to their teams. I mean, you walk into the bar and every Pittsburgh sport, like the Pirates were on, the draft was on, the Penguins were on. So Steelers fans are amazing. I could see why that city is the city of football. Like, it's just considered a football city. Just getting to experience it, being there, getting to see where the draft was held in that parking lot was where Three Rivers used to be. Because you could walk a couple steps and see where Franco Harris made the Immaculate Reception. They have it marked off, and they have the bases marked off too for Roberto Clemente and some of the Pirates players. So awesome atmosphere. A lot of teams were very well represented. And there were some other surprises, Jimmy, like Jeremiah Love going to Arizona. Not what we thought was going to happen. We thought he might end up with the Giants or the Titans. So he goes there.
I like that pick by Arizona, by the way. I think that's a player they needed.
Yeah, they're just going best available at that point. They might not have a quarterback. But yeah, right. So you have to. And there was there were a lot of teams that had multiple day one picks Eagles, other big story was that the Eagles traded Pittsburgh. Lemon was on the phone with the Pittsburgh Steelers about to pick him. And then Dallas makes the trade with Philly in division rival. So Philly can jump Pittsburgh and draft Lemon. The ironic thing is going to be now if this kid Lemon busts up the Dallas secondary for the next 10 years. And they allowed it to happen. So
Kansas City traded up to go get Mansour Delan from LSU.
Yep.
And then the fact that, I mean, what stinks is Sonny Styles.
Sonny Styles ended up with KC, right?
No, Sonny Styles went to Washington. Like I was just going to say, Washington gets Sonny Styles and Dallas gets Caleb Downs. It's like, the Giants can't catch a break. And the big surprise of the first round, whether we want to admit Dan Orlovsky is right or not, I still think he sometimes talks out of his butt.
Yeah, I think so.
I still wouldn't have wasted that high of a pick on Ty Simpson.
Yeah, Ty Simpson, right? I mean, what are we thinking about? Like supposedly there's rumors that McVay was not happy about this, was not on board. They wanted a playmaker to help Stafford out. I think those rumors have been like kind of squashed now, apparently.
He said he wanted other needs. He was kind of in a mood when the cameras caught him. I think he's doing a good PR job, to be honest. Like, I think, look.
And there are ties to Les Snead and Simpson, I think. Les Snead has helped his family.
But the thing is with Ty Simpson, he's an average quarterback. And average looks at average. That's fine. Dan Orlovsky was an average quarterback in the NFL. Like, that's true. Okay. You can – mediocre knows mediocre. I mean, it's fine. He didn't watch a lot of Ty Simpson. No, he says he studies tape. I watched a lot of them this year. Actually, I watched all of his games because Alabama was on a lot. And he panicked and he didn't look good. And he was a mediocre quarterback on a mediocre team. Yeah, his arm strength's fine and all that. That's great. Drew Aller has great arm strength, and I think he's found a nice landing spot, by the way.
Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I wouldn't have taken him that high. If I was the Rams, I would have found a way to trade back in. I would have gotten him in the second round. I don't think he's a first-round quarterback because he's sitting for a couple of years. If Matt Stafford keeps playing the way he's playing, the Rams are in win-now mode. They
are. This is it for Stafford pretty much right here.
Right,
so.
But is Ty Simpson going to be ready next season? No.
Right. We don't know. We don't think so, right?
We don't think so. He ain't going to be ready. He has no place to go develop. By the way, there were whispers that Miami was offering $15 million in NIL money before the draft, by the way, to transfer.
And speaking of Arizona, they also went and drafted Carson Beck. What do you think about that one? Going to be rough also?
That's gonna be a rough one. Love Carson, don't get me wrong. Think he had a tough year in Georgia, bounced back, but Carson Beck always makes a bad mistake.
Right.
I mean, like, he just does. Like, the QB class wasn't that great in 2026.
We knew that coming into this year.
I knew that coming in. Like, it was already bad. Like, I don't know what people expected out of the quarterbacks this year. Like, they weren't that great. Like, even like Fernando Mendoza needs time, and they brought in a veteran quarterback at Kirk Cousins to give him time to develop.
Right, we're here. Look, I'm not buying into this that they're saying that Mendoza might sit the year. We always hear this about these number one picks, but it's like, look, you and I subscribe to the theory that they should sit. But
I agree they need to. Well, Mendoza knows he needs to sit.
Right, but I feel like circumstances always lead to this, whether an injury occurs or they're out of it and they're just wanting to see what this guy is, right? Like, I think at some point we're going to see him, and whether they want to keep saying that he's going to sit for the whole year, I don't know if I buy that. So we'll see what happens there with Fernando Mendoza.
Look, I'm going to say this. Look, Kate Kublik in the Jets, where they picked him, maybe has some potential down the road. Like, maybe has some potential. Like,
look, who are you talking about? The Jets?
Yeah, and Nussmeier too in KC. He's going to learn from Patrick Mahomes. So if he's a backup there, great. If he finds his way to other teams, he's going to develop the right way. Like, Nussmeier's in a good spot. Like, I just think, I mean, Drew Aller goes to Pittsburgh. I like that. And here's what me and Andy were on the philosophy of this. You have Will Howard. You have Will Howard and Drew Aller now, right? You don't need Aaron Rodgers. Mike McCarthy knows how to develop quarterbacks. He does.
Right.
Like, we know he knows how to develop quarterbacks. He did it with Dak. Did it with Rodgers. If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, you tell Aaron Rodgers, thanks for your services. Best of luck in your future endeavors. And, like, here's the pink slip. Because we don't need to do this right now. Like, we don't need this game anymore.
No, exactly. I'm with you on that. And I feel like I heard some Cardinals players today also trying to recruit Aaron Rodgers. So
Like,
I don't know
why?
I don't know what's going on or where he's going to end up, if he's even going to play or where he is. But I agree. And then the 49ers, right? I mean, they take this kid Stribling out of Ole Miss as the first pick of day 2. They traded back in the first round twice. Me and the Niners fans there were all like, hey, once again, high hopes. We're excited to see a first round pick, and like,
Not
bam,
happening.
we'll see on day 2. So I'm like, all right, gotta wait. And overall, the Niners draft class is getting kind of a lot of criticism, which I can sort of agree with, because I always see it as anytime I feel like the Niners have a need, they always pivot and do something else. Shanahan sees a player like a receiver or a running back that he's like, oh, I could scheme up plays for this guy. I can make him look good. Sometimes they stray away from, hey, build the O-line, the interior O-line. Trent Williams is going to be 40 soon, or he's going to be out of there. We need his replacement. Draft a safety. Draft a cornerback. But we don't do it. We wait a little bit, and we just take these offensive players that I don't know how quick they're going to contribute. A third-round running back. The Niners have drafted a third-round running back like 4 of the last 5 years, and none of those guys have panned out. Christian McCaffrey gets every touch anyway. So I don't know how this is going to be any different than what's happened the last couple of years. I'll say this. I did read some good information on Stribling. A lot of other draft pundits are saying that he is a guy that kind of went under the radar and has good speed. So look, I'll trust Shanahan and Lynch. But right now, the track record for these last couple of years, they're riding right now on like Brock Purdy's carried them for a couple of years. Because since his draft of 2022, these last couple of years, there haven't been any kind of mainstays or guys that have made a super impact just yet. Look, I think Mykel Williams, unfortunately, tore his ACL last year, was off to like having a good year as a rookie, but we'll see how he looks this year. Other than that, Brock Purdy has really like stepped up and filled the holes of what other draft classes the Niners have had. So they're riding on just these last couple of years and what they've been able to do, like with winning games. Their reputation is what they're running on. So it's going to catch up to them. But I will say this. I mean, look, I think Seattle didn't have that great of a draft. They're going to lose Ken Walker. I think they might take a step back. This is me saying that. I'm just being a hater. I have no other reason to say. The Rams, Cardinals are going to stink, and the Rams are, the Niners and Rams always have battles. So you're trying to be better than who you have in the division. So to be determined, but I, as a Niners fan, seeing as the day unfolded and how their draft classes went, a lot left to be desired. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's fair. That is definitely fair.
Got to be fair here. Got to be fair.
Got to be fair. Got to be fair. If you want to be fair to Flair, that's one hell of a role. But no.
Exactly. That's a good one. It's not fair to Flair.
Right. But again, this is the NFL draft. The hit, miss. We don't know what these kids are going to be. We really don't.
Yeah.
We expect
really
too
don't.
much from these guys to come in right away. They all need to develop. They all do. There's a missing piece in the NFL of development. College football was never that. Even before NIL, it was never that. The NFL needs a developmental league if they really want to truly develop these players and have them ready.
No, you're absolutely right, Jimmy, because the game is changing from the college aspect too. There is no like old school way of developing these guys anymore. They come to the NFL and they're ill prepared. There are some positions where it's easier to transition, running back for one. There are some guys. Wide receiver. There's some guys that could plug in there, but quarterback is the one where we have to see a lot more development, and we're seeing it. Like there's even in the NFL, the pros, like there's only a handful of guys that you will say like these are competent guys that we trust to win games.
And it doesn't help the preseason shorter. That it takes them 4 weeks to get ramped up to what they actually are. Like there's a lot of developmental issues. Why I think when we have our buddy Jim Waldron on, there's going to be some things, and people in Canada who listen to this may not be happy about it, but there will become a day when the NFL goes to the CFL and says, we're going to merge and that you're going to be our developmental league.
It needs to happen. Something's got to give eventually. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a problem with the talent pool in the NFL. So,
and just to tease on that, if you notice the little, like for people who don't follow CFL as much, the little tweaks with the field, how they've shortened the field a little bit. They've push the schedule ahead a little bit early. Why? Because the NFL guys are scouting guys in the CFL. So when the season now ends, it's right before the trade deadline. You can add those players as free agents, and they could play in the playoffs for you.
So that's a smart move. I love that system right there. That's great.
So
I mean, that's
it's just little. The reason I'm following a little bit more. Shout out to my boy Dino, who plays for Ottawa Red Blacks. We train a lot, but like just you pick up on little things on how they're doing things. It's just like it just makes too much sense. So that's something for another day. But yeah, I mean, NFL Draft was a great experience for you. Stanley Cup Playoffs. Yeah, one more.
One thing before I get off it, the broadcast booths were kind of right there when you walked in. So shout out, Rich Eisen, awesome. Anytime the fans were shouting him out, he would turn around and give a wave and like talk to people. Nick Saban actually turned around and acknowledged everybody. That was
Saban,
cool.
Let's go.
You had the College Game Day crew, and then you had McAfee and his guys, and I gave McAfee the business. Coming off the RKO at WrestleMania, I was just yelling at him relentlessly. But, he was there doing his usual shenanigans, so that was cool. But, yeah, overall great experience. And that goes right into your experience, Jimmy. Montreal, tell us all about it, man.
Bro, nothing beats the Stanley Cup playoffs in Montreal. If you've never experienced a game there, you have to go. Playoffs, regular season, it doesn't matter. The playoffs in Montreal, ridiculous. The atmosphere was electric. The Bell Center, the history of the Canadians, Yvonne Cornwallis, you had Serge Chavard, Knuckles Nyland. Shout out Knuckles for the repost on Twitter. Tagged you in it. Just the atmosphere, the crowd getting into it, the Lane Hudson overtime winner, being at the Bell Center, covering games there. It was a great atmosphere, talking to the players before the game, after the game, just being around the city of Montreal. I love that city. The walking, it was so nice. The weather was perfect. You could walk everywhere. Just playoff hockey hits differently in Montreal. It really does. It's like a religious experience. It's a rock concert. I felt like I lost my hearing, but the people were so nice. The crowd was into it. Like, they know their hockey up there. They're going to let the refs know it. They're going to let everybody know it. The Canadians, they blew a 2-0 lead in Game 4, but it was just all the games were unbelievable. Like, just unbelievable.
I saw the videos you were sending me and what you were posting, the electricity, the atmosphere. That's where I want to go watch a hockey game because, like, just being a casual observer, and I would think for anybody who's not even watching the sport, if you get to experience that, I mean, how do you not become a fan, right? How do you not?
100%.
Instantly. So, and the ironic thing is, I think, the two games you were there, that Montreal wins this series, but the games you were there, they didn't win their games, right?
They won one game. They won.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah, the Lane Hudson overtime winner in Game 3. Should have won Games 4 or 6. I thought they were the better team in Game 6 against Tampa. They ended up winning the series in 7 with 9 shots on goal.
With one score games pretty much every game, right?
All one score game, all one goal games.
One goal game.
All 4 of the 7 games went to overtime. The Canadians set a record, 9 shots on goal, fewest to win a Game 7 with 2 goals. I thought Tampa were the better team in Game 7. No, they did not get the result. I thought Montreal was the better team in Game 6. Didn't get the result. It was a great series. Players were excellent. Teams were excellent. The electricity, you just wanted to jump on the ice. Like, no place does it better than the Montreal Canadiens in the playoffs. No disrespect to all the other places. You had great atmospheres, but it's not Montreal. It's just not Montreal. It's the Olay chant, go Habs go before warm-up. Like, they're rocking out in the streets. They got the video stuff outside. The fans are electric. Party atmosphere.
Love it.
It's unbelievable.
And that's similar to what Pittsburgh would be when what I heard is when their football games are going on Sundays, the whole city shuts down. Everybody's, it's right on the water. People are taking boats to the stadium. Montreal is a hockey city. Pittsburgh is a football city. When you're experiencing the sport in those cities, that's when you understand, like, oh, this is like you said, a religious experience.
It's a religious.
It is what it is. Yeah,
it's different in Montreal just because the playoffs, like the Bell Center, the crowd. Yes. It's like
it's everything.
It's everything,
it's the
and they don't like
city.
Nikita Kucherov for after his comments. So he was public enemy number one. Every time he touched the puck, they booed him. Like, it was just a presentation, the crowd singing "Oh Canada." Like, it was ready to rock and roll. Like, it was.
Love it.
Love it. It was unbelievable. Playoffs have been great. Like, every series, like, that was the best series of the first round. Dallas and Minnesota was great. Utah, Vegas. When I was coming in, those were my series that I was really watching. Shout out to the Buffalo Sabres. In the playoffs, get their first series win since 2007. So
Wow.
Shout out to them. Yeah, 19 years. They beat the Rangers that year. Sorry, Mark. Yeah, sorry. But, like, there's now Montreal and Buffalo, the old Adams division. Philly's there playing Carolina. Carolina, to me, is probably one of the better teams.
One thing I'll say in Philly, because Drew wanted me to say this, he is upset he did not get the invite to talk Phillies beating the Penguins. He is a new diehard Flyers fan suddenly on the bandwagon, but he wants to shout out his Flyers.
I mean, look, it was a great night. He went there when the Flyers won.
Yes.
He gets the invite when he wants to talk more hockey, and I
Love
get the invite on Two Beers podcast to talk hockey because I feel like I'm not invited enough on that program.
Hey, you heard it here, Drew. Talk about it on Two Beers. Get Jimmy on the show. You'll get the return invite.
So I'm just saying, but I told Drew I may try to come down for some Flyers games in round 2. We'll see. Schedules and stuff, but. Yeah, got Colorado Mini right now. Vegas, Anaheim, like, Oilers are out. Like, no surprise there. Just the playoffs have been great. Ratings through the roof. I think it's 2.3 million people watched the game 7 on Sunday. Ratings are up 14-year highs. It's just unbelievable for the sport of hockey. Like, I've said to everybody, like, you try to be a salesman. You try to bring the electricity when you talk about hockey. You try to sell it. The game is selling itself. People are understanding it. I know everybody I think real part of it is it's on TNT, it's on ESPN. Whether you can stream it on HBO Max or, whatever streaming services out there.
Easy access, right?
There's easy television access. It's not the NBA. Oh, it's on Peacock this night. It's on Apple this night. It's exclusively here this night.
It's been ridiculous.
It's like, it's on Amazon exclusive this night. Why? Like, there's no need for that. Nope. I love the fact that the first round, the local broadcasters, if you're not in the local broadcast area, the local broadcasts still have the feed for the first round. After that, it's nationally. For everybody, it's national. But the first round, it's national and local. But you can find the game easily.
That's what I love to hear. And I did catch a couple games, bits and pieces of games while I was in Pittsburgh when they were showing the playoffs. I was enjoying that, but I did throw on when you were in Montreal. I was throwing those games on. And what do you think of this? What do you make of this Canadian Sabres series? How do you feel about it?
It's gonna be good. I mean, I think it's gonna be a little bit more wide open than it was in the Lightning series. To me, Buffalo doesn't have that Cirelli defensive style that'll slow down Montreal. I think Montreal can win. Not trying to be a homer here. I think Montreal is a better team. And if it's going to get to wide open hockey, I think Caulfield, Suzuki, and those guys are going to get going. Slafkovsky, Lane Hudson, already a top 3 defenseman. Jakub Dobeš is unbelievable what he's doing. Sabres, credit to them, they're there. But I think this will be a 6-game series. I think it could be, maybe it goes the distance again. It's going to be fun hockey to watch. I think it's 2 good teams, 2 young teams, ready, hungry, want to be there. Not satisfied with their results. Like, they just, like, Jakub Dobeš, like, composure, right? They're like, oh, you must be excited. You beat this guy. They're like, yeah, we won and everything, but we're concerned about Buffalo. It's like, yeah, we won game 7. Doesn't matter. We're on to Buffalo now. Like, that's what you want to hear from a mature team like that. Young team. It's like, yeah, we're just going to Buffalo. Like, we're going to go play Buffalo now. It's all right. We just take care of the Lightning. We're off to Buffalo. So it's like, yeah, I think this is going to be a fun series. Can't wait. Hopefully I get up to Montreal again for the series. At least for one game, that would be great. Maybe the roller gang will be up there from Buffalo. Who knows? They might be getting expelled from the city. I don't know. Hopefully they don't lose their passports at the border. They may not be allowed in. But, no, I can't wait. Fans have been great. It's just going to be awesome. And Yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
Love to hear it, man. That's awesome. Check out the NHL playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs, because when you have a team like Buffalo who hasn't been in it a long time, I think that helps.
The
new blood helps, I feel like.
The new blood helps. It's not
Yes.
regurgitated teams. It's new blood. It helps. As we transition to other sports, we got to talk about John Sterling, R.I.P. John Sterling, voice of Yankees forever on the radio. Passed away, suddenly. Though if you listen to Michael Kay, this kind of was coming. All the memories from the 90s, the Yankees win, the home run calls, him and Michael Kay doing it, him and Susan, just sad day if you're a Yankee fan, if you're a baseball fan. I think Scott Van Pelt summed it up best. The guys that did that, the art form is dying. People don't have that connection with the radio anymore, with those kind of broadcasters like the Vin Scullys, the John Sterlings, guys like that, because it's too easy accessible. We don't listen to that part of the sport anymore. It's just TV or it's just shorts. I always loved listening to games on the radio.
Yeah.
Whether it was Yankees, whether it was hockey, I love listening to the radio call. Because
lost art.
It is a lost art, because if you're not in front of a television, you're driving, you can picture the game. And I love that.
That's what he did. I feel like there was a lot of times, I'm not a Yankees fan, but that's the predominant team in the area we live in. That's championships and everything we grew up with. But there was a lot of nights in college, high school, after we got our license, college, over the years that, there's nothing. I don't want to listen to music. What's on sports radio? I'll always tune into sports radio, talk radio first. A Yankee game might be on. And John Sterling was one of the guys that I could just listen to. And like you just said, they are able to illustrate, without you being there or visually seeing it, explain what is going on in the field of play in such a way where you could actually picture it in your head. I mean, I think those are the best guys, right? That the guys that are able to give you a visual when there is no visual. So I think, the way he was able to do that, the entertaining comments with the home run calls, him and Susan Waldman going back and forth. I mean, the home run calls became kind of a thing unto itself, to where nowadays it's like these commentators are trying to mimic or, pay homage to Sterling and what he's been able to do. Nicknames for every single player that came through the Yankees over the last 30 years. The stat I saw was he never missed a game from 1989 to 2019.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
30 years straight. I mean, look, he didn't play the game, but still.
That's a hell of an Iron Man streak.
That's an Iron Man streak, because broadcasting's not easy.
And he went on the road.
On the road.
He was doing games on the road.
On the road, 30 straight years of games, whatever, 5,000 games, whatever it was, always there to call the game. And I mean, synonymous with, the Yankees win. We're always going to remember that.
Yankees win.
And I love that
Poppy,
now.
And Poppy has to not make fun of it, but he has a little satire with it. The Yankees lose.
Right, exactly. And I love Aaron Boone now getting them to play that clip right into Frank Sinatra. I think that started the other night, the day after he passed, or the night he passed. That's going to be the new tradition if the Yankees win.
I say this about the Yankees. They've won 14 to 16 or whatever the stat is.
They're great. Look, the best team in the AL, right behind the Braves, is best record in baseball.
Right. Talk to me in October.
Win in October.
Talk to me in October. I've seen this picture before.
We have.
I've seen this picture before. I don't care what you're racking up your wins to get to the playoffs.
You need to do this. You got to win.
100%.
Yeah.
I've seen this picture. It doesn't end well.
It doesn't end well. I think right now at this point, the fact that they ran it back, and I was getting criticism in the offseason that why are they not changing it up? They're running it back with the same squad. This is a team that has something to prove, right? Unfinished business, as they say.
Right, and Garrett Cole wasn't there last year. I get it.
Right.
They didn't have a lot of starting pitching. I get it.
So these are guys that are hungry to take the monkey off their back from the World Series loss.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In October, 99 has to show up for the Yankees.
100%. Yes. In the World Series.
In the biggest moments, he needs to show up.
He did in the ALCS last year at moments. They still lost. But
2 years ago. Because they lost.
Yes.
Last year they got killed
in the World
by
Series. He has to show up in the World Series. He's had his moments
in the
he had the home
playoffs.
in the playoffs, but he needs it to be done in the World Series.
He needs it throughout the playoffs and into the World Series.
Correct.
Why is Derek Jeter renowned? What he did in the biggest moments for the New York Yankees.
Right.
Right. That's straight up. Why?
Agreed. You got to win a championship to be remembered in the annals of the Yankees greats.
As much as I don't think A-Rod was a Yankee, and I never liked him as a Yankee.
If it wasn't for him, they don't win.
Right. He got my respect in 2009 because of what he did in the playoffs.
Right. Exactly. He had his one run, and without him, they don't win the championship. So this is what Aaron Judge needs to do.
He needs to do it. So that's our baseball talk. Any NBA talk?
Yeah, let's stick to the locals. New York Knicks, phenomenal. First team to win 3 straight playoff games by 30-plus points. They took care of the Hawks.
Blowout the other night. The Hawks, they were up like 60 at half.
Yeah, second highest point differential in a playoff game in NBA history. For the Knicks personally, it was their second highest. And in NBA history, it was the second biggest blowout in playoff history. That's 3 straight blowouts. They went down on the Hawks. They were down to the Hawks 2-1. Things were starting to tick like, what's going on? The Knicks we're going to blow it up. Cat is not playing well. They come back, close out the Hawks, take game 1 against Philly. Unexpected Philly. Everybody thought it was going to be Boston. But Jalen Brunson has been nothing but Mr. Playoffs, Mr. Clutch. Since he's been in New York, Nick, forget the criticism. He's been great.
Well, I think when that clip started going around social media, when my girl Becky Hammond was calling him out, I think he got a little motivated.
Absolutely. That's what you want. Everybody doubting him helps him out. He's already a great player, but the doubt helps. Karl Anthony Towns playing like the big man he's supposed to be. Mikal Bridges playing good defense. So big ups to the Knicks, but we all said it from the beginning, like, if you don't at least get to a finals, this is a failure of a season. Considering what teams are left here.
They need to get to the final.
Considering now it's Philly, it's not Boston. You got Detroit and the Cavaliers on the other side, who you've taken care of business with those teams last year and in the past. There's no Tyrese Halliburton here.
There's no reason the New York Knicks should not be in the NBA Finals. No reason.
And if they don't, then it's going to get blown up.
Complete failure. Complete failure of a season if the Knicks do not get to the NBA Final. I don't care if Detroit's the number 1 seed. The Knicks are the best team in the East. I have not watched a single frame of basketball.
They have been all year. Although they haven't been the 1 seed, they have been.
But from what I've seen in highlights and heard from reputable NBA people, the Knicks have been the best team in the East all year.
Yeah, and shout out to my coworker Emmer, who's the diehard Knicks fan. He just wants a stress-free game. He doesn't want to stress it out. These last 3 games have been stress-free. It's a rare thing for the Knicks. So now, Philly's going to come back and give them a fight.
In any playoff, get yourself a short series.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Get some rest. Wait for the next round, right? For the next team you're playing.
Exactly.
So,
get some
rest.
And
on the other side, I'll talk about it because it's my guy. We don't talk about it enough on here. LeBron James, 41 years old, still going, Jimmy. He's a year older than us and took care of a Houston Rockets team by himself.
Houston was making a comeback in that series.
Yes, it was 3-0.
Was it a surprise that Lakers were up 3-0, though?
It was. Because LeBron had to hit a game-tying 3. I was in Pittsburgh when this happened. We were watching it at the bar. The place went crazy. LeBron hits a 3-pointer with like 20 seconds left to send it to OT. And then in OT, the Lakers take care of business. The Rockets let that one get away. That made it 3-0. They came back and were able to win 2, and then the Lakers were able to close it out in 6. So props to a 41-year-old who didn't have Luka and Austin Reeves for most of that series is 2 top scorers for the Lakers this year.
Now
he had to revert back to the LeBron who carries the load, and he did it. Now, no Durant for the Rockets for most of that series, but Durant's always hurt. He's always missing.
Yeah.
So impressive. And the Rockets were favored heavily going into that series. No one believed that the Lakers could do it. Now you got OKC here. That's going to be a difficult one without Luka.
I think OKC is a better team.
Yeah, OKC will win in about 5 if Luka doesn't come back, which it doesn't look like he will. But I just wanted to shout out again. We love shouting out
LeBron. Look,
the athletes that are our age and still doing it. They're built different. So
built differently.
Shout out to that.
I think. Look, I'll get him on his case for his load management. Maybe that's what this is the time why he did the load management.
He hasn't really been doing the load managing in
This
a long
year.
time.
No,
I mean he will take it. No, he has to at this point at 40.
Yeah.
But
Any other team? What about how'd the Spurs do? I lost track.
Spurs. Oh, actually lost game 1 to the Wolves. Wemby did not have a good game. I don't expect that to continue. I think
No.
Wemby will bounce back. He was 0 for 8 from the 3-point line.
Do we expect Spurs OKC West?
Yeah, if you're a betting man and you're looking, these have been the 2 best teams all year long. I expect OKC and the Spurs, and that's going to be a hell of a series. That could go 7.
Imagine you get a 99 rematch.
Dude, it would be a Spurs Knicks,
Yeah.
which could very well happen, Jimmy. Could very well happen. Because OKC, look, Spurs are going to give OKC all they can handle if it gets to
They got to
that.
get past Minnesota first.
They got to get past Minnesota. They're down 0-1, and I really want to see if the Lakers can even pull out a game or 2 in this series. We'll see about that. But had to shout out the longevity and the ability for a guy to still turn the clock back like he's 25, throwing alley-oops to his son and averaging 24, 7, and 8 against guys half his age. The Rockets are nobody on that team is over
07. Yo, he's going 07 LeBron.
Nobody on that team on the Rockets is over 25 years old. So shout out to that.
Dude, easy. So,
Yeah.
hey, we went around the sports world for you. First time in a while. We actually touched them all. We went around. We did NFL, NHL, basketball, baseball. Anything else before we get out of here?
No, I think we hit it all, Jimmy. I think we did.
That's it. Shout out to me. Birthday. I like
Happy
that.
birthday to the man right here.
I like that. So shout out to everybody. Thank you again. Guys, Nightcap Recap. You know where to find us. Special Team Media, Full Press Media up there. Jim Biringer, Teddy Repantis. Guys, peace.